Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to the Pretty Rich Teacher podcast. I am so excited to chat with you all today. Okay. If y'all see me on the YouTube, you see me with my braids. I got my vacation hair. I just came back from Tulum last week, so I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling excited. And I'm excited about being able to teach you today how to transition into a new career before the next school year. So this is for my girls, all my teacher girlies who are wanting to leave the classroom. This is y'all. I want to leave the classroom I want to finish out the school year. I don't want to leave in the middle of the year. I want to leave in the summer or I want to job offer by June. I don't want to come back in August. I'm not coming back in August. All the cash money. I call them the cash money talkers. Y'all are ready to get up, get out. If that is you, raise your hand. Raise your hand. You like, I am out of here. I am out of here. So I want to go over what it actually takes to transition into a new career outside of the classroom by next school year. And what I mean by that is if you are someone who wants to transition out, right? You want to be able to leave. By the way, side note, y'all look at my nails. I have cat eye. I never even heard of that. Um, and I was like, yeah, pink, anything. I have different shape. My nails are actually a little bit shorter right now. And one of my old colleagues, and I'll talk about that because I'm recording 2 episodes today, so y'all are gonna see this one. And then how to not burn bridges when you leave education for corporate. It's a good one. Because I actually went to this is a side story, but I'm on track, y'all know. The HDB winning, but I have my notes, I have my whiteboard with the things I'm gonna talk about. So I'm gonna stay focused. Anyway, long story short, my old colleague, she noticed that my nails were shorter. I was like, "Thank you for noticing." Like, even though so if y'all are on here and I had somebody write a comment. They're like, I can't focus with your nails, the nails." Y'all, I love my nails. I'm not cutting them. The only reason I cut these nails is because I didn't like the shape before. But yeah, no, the claws are staying. So if y'all are distracted by the nails, close your eyes. Close your eyes because I love my nails. This is the Miami me that won't go away. And I feel like this is definitely a side story, but I'm gonna get to the point. But I think one of the biggest things that when I was an educator, an administrator, like I feel like I was always told, oh, I shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. Like always being told what I should not do. Like, oh, you should cut your nails. People are gonna like that. And I'm like, no, no, bump that. Y'all need to learn how to like it. Like learn how to like something different. Like I love being able to be the representation at my school for other students, being able to see someone like me. And when I mean like me, I don't just mean black. I don't just mean like color, I mean like seeing me as an administrator, right? So like me with my nails, with my right now I have blonde. I didn't do blonde in education. Not because I just did it. Um and I just feel like being able to see someone like, oh my gosh, she's so much fun, she's so cute, and she's an admin. Like I want that for everybody. But anyway, how to transition to a new career. But yeah, I call it the cash money talkers. Cash money talkers, they want to leave and I want to talk about it. So typically, if you are someone like this, you are a high achiever, and I work with high achieving women. So if you are a high achieving woman and this is you, this podcast is for you, make sure to share this with a friend. If you know they also want to leave out, if y'all want to start a leaving committee, whatever y'all want to do, just send them this podcast episode. Thank you so much. All right, so let's start. I'm going to give you one, two, three, four, five, six things for tangible things for you to take away of how to transition to the new career. But let's talk about what this looks like. So, a lot of y'all are just so set on the timeline. Okay. This is going to be another timeline episode, but with some skill. Like, we have so many of y'all who are so set on the time. Like you're just focused on when you want to leave. You're focused on the time. Like you're not really focused on anything else. And I think that the reason why this happens is because in education, especially if you've gotten a degree or typically you're a classroom teacher, you have a little bit more control of your day. You know what you're teaching, when, even if you don't, like you have some type of rhythm, some routine. And essentially, like you're used to just getting things done on a timeline. Like you don't have any issues, especially when it comes to getting hired. When you're working as a teacher, you don't have to do too much. Like all you have to do is, show up. I mean, send in your application, they interview you and you're hired. Like it doesn't take much to become a teacher. So what happens is teachers, they think that the same thing is going to happen in corporate. They're like, okay, I'm just gonna get a job by June. And then they have no idea what their job. They're like, I have no idea. And here's the thing, I'm calling you out a little bit in the most loving way possible. In the most loving way possible. Everything I say is the most loving way possible. So I call y'all cash money talkers. So a lot of y'all are saying, oh, the universe is gonna tell me, the God's gonna tell me. And I'm just like, here's the boat. I'm the boat. What if I'm the boat? What if I'm telling you right now what you need to do and you just need to listen to what I'm saying to help you? Let me be the boat. A lot of us are just like saying, waiting for, oh, I'm just gonna let, God handle it. But it's like, you still got to figure out what job you want to do. So I'm going to go over all the things that get people stuck and how for you to actually transition. So make sure you're listening, take notes, or listen to this back of what you need to do to actually make this happen. Essentially, that's one thing. You don't necessarily know what you want to do, but you're just kind of putting it on faith that it'll figure it out. But I need y'all to figure it out and I'm going to give y'all some tangibles, but we need to actually figure out what career we want to go into when we're leaving. Like a lot of us are so stuck on leaving, 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 but you are not focused on what you need to do to actually leave and get a new job. So that's one thing. And another thing is, I know that there's a thing about the school year about you don't want to leave in the middle of the school year. You want to leave by August. Ideally, it would be great for you to not come back in August. But so many people make that goal. And then when they don't reach it, they either give up. That's the number one thing people do. They give up. And I don't want y'all to give up. So I think a lot of y'all make it look like you failed if you did not get your job by August. Like, y'all, it took me a year to get an interview. A year. Okay. And I was a school administrator. Okay. And I say that to say, like, I was a school administrator who had basically, like, I felt I was happy. Like, I could have been a little happy, but I really wasn't. And I know that for the school year, everything is about the kids and not wanting to leave them hanging. I know that whole thing, but I was able to leave, without burning bridges. And again, I'm going to go over that entirely in next week's episode. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that one. But the long story short, is I was able to leave without penalty. Um, and they still love me. Like, like, if you're afraid of burning bridges, I left in the middle of the school year as a school administrator over a lot of things. So, and I don't mean this to be mean. I'm not being mean, but I'm just saying, if you are a teacher, more especially, like, I understand you have a classroom of students, but they will be okay. They will be okay. And they do not disappear. So if you really like, I understand the desire to want to stay in the classroom, but that's actually keeping y'all stuck. It's keeping you on a rabbit hamster wheel. It's keeping you on a rabbit hamster wheel. You're just on that hammer. Like, you just only want to leave by August, so you just don't give up. Like, I understand that, but it's giving low key. This is tough coaching. You are people pleasing. Ask me how I know. I've people pleased for years, unaware, but like, you're trying to make sure everything's good by not. But the thing is, you got to do what's best for yourself. If a job offer is on your line, offer you $100K, and you say that you're gonna wait till the end of the school year, excuse me, like, what? Because I had a client do that. She got a job offer and she asked him to wait for the end of the school year. I was like, girl, you can't do that. You cannot do that. You got to be ready. So that's one thing. And then in order for you to actually pack your bags up, you must have a job offer. So I'm going to talk about all the things you need to do to actually get your job on your timeline. Okay. So number one, high achievers. If we want a goal by a certain timeline, because it's okay to have goals. I'm not here to tell you to not have goals. What I am telling you to do is, if you have a time, if you have a goal timeline, I challenge you, instead of having a timeline goal, I want you to have a skill-based goal. What I mean by this is, if your goal is to have a job offer, because I think I always like to also ask, is it more important that you get your goal, or is it more important that you get your goal on your timeline? Which one is more important to you? To get your goal by your timeline or your goal? Let me say that slower. Do you want your goal by your timeline, or do you want your goal? And I understand you're saying, okay, my goal is to get on my timeline, but that's just a made up thing. You made up that timeline. Nobody, like, again, if it's the middle of the school year thing, I get it. I understand that. But I'm telling you, being on the other side, it's been about 4 years now being on the other side. And me, I actually, again, I'm going to go over that in my next episode, but I went to visit my, it was a 50th anniversary for my school. I was invited. I saw my old coworkers, and a lot of them are doing the exact same thing. The exact same thing. Okay. The exact same thing. Not in any shade. They're doing the exact same thing. And it's like, they have the same thing. Oh, I don't really know. I don't really know. My job, like, imagine having a whole bunch of coworkers and then I'm the coworker. I am actually the pretty rich teacher that they know and love. I have some people who don't even know I have a podcast, and I work with them. They hint at, oh, I low-key want to leave. They make it like a joke, but I'm like, y'all want to get a job or not? I got what you need. But I say all to say, I know it's easy for you to say, okay, I don't want to leave on this time. But like, the thing is, do you want your goal, or do you want your goal by your timeline? Which one's more important? I would challenge that it's more important for you to get your goal, period. Like, because my thing is, obviously, when you're applying for jobs and if you're investing in something, you want your job ASAP, but you have to get the skills first. So what I mean by this is, Instead of having just a timeline goal, okay, I want to get the job by June. Okay, in order for me to get a job by June, right, I need to have a job offer. So in June, I need a job offer. In order for me to get a job offer in June, I need interviews. I would say at least it takes I would say a month to 6 months to land a job. It depends. But if it's taking a long time, there's typically some skill or something missing. But let's say to job offer. So you need interviews and you need to know how to interview. You need to know what job you're applying for. You need to have your resume. Essentially, you need to reverse engineer. You need a resume that is aligned to your career path. But even before that, you need to know what your career path is. So a lot of us are girls. We need to know what job we're going into. We need to know what job we're going into. If you want to lead a classroom, you got to figure out what job you're going into. You just got to figure that out. And I'm helping y'all, by the way. I'm helping y'all. But you got to figure that out. And then it's like, what skills do I need to get that? So if I need a job offer, I need interviewing skills. I need the career skills itself. I need to know how to sell my skills. Okay. That's what you need to do. So like, what do I need to do that? Okay. And there's going to be many skills that come up under that. Like I have clients where they learned the job, they learn how to market, they learn how to sell, and they need to refine it. Some of them are adding in personality that needs to be added because in order to get hired, people are hiring people. They're not hiring your resume. They're not hiring your experience. They're hiring people with the experience and what they're going to do. So there's a lot of things. I would say give yourself time, but you need to I would think about a skill timeline versus a goal timeline. Okay. If you want a job in 6 months, break down those 6 months and tell me what skills you're working on and how often you're working on those. Everything that I have is a culmination of skills. It's a culmination of throwing spaghetti on the wall and getting better at it. Okay. And right now, again, if y'all look at my past YouTube videos, and I'm calling myself out on purpose. My past YouTube videos, I'm still trying to figure out how to edit. I use CapCut, but like the middle of if I ever have like a video that has like sound, like you're not supposed to have a copyright. So I try to do like a music montage over it, but like I never can get it right. But I'm like, oh, y'all just gonna have to get that this week and I'll figure it out next week. I don't have that skill yet, but I'm working on it. I'm really trying my best. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I already have a friend who's gonna help me with it. But like I'm not worried. Like I'm like, oh, it went out. Because at the end of the day, it was like a minute. Like sometimes y'all are afraid of a minute of not embarrassment. Like if you felt a minute of maybe it feels like embarrassment, maybe it feels like shame, like to be able to like either not get your goal on your timeline or doing something wrong. And that's actually my next point. Being okay with being wrong. That's perfect. Who wrote these notes? Whoever wrote these notes is a genius because I'm like, I was going to say that next. So number one, to get your job on your timeline, number one, you need to have your timeline goals versus I would have a skill goal over a timeline goal. And again, if you have a timeline goal, what skills do you need to get that thing? Like without the timeline, what skills do you need to get good at to get that thing? And then you'll get your goal on your timeline. Like right now, I have a 3-year plan. I'm working with my business coach on my goals for the next 3 years with my business. And she was telling me, like, I have like income goals. And she's like, yeah, you may hit it earlier, you know. We're just focusing on the skills. And like I have a 30-day Boxer. I don't know if y'all know what Boxer is, but my clients WhatsApp. So it's me being able to message my business coach for 30 days. And I'm cracking. I am asking her everything under the sun. Everything under the sun of what I need to do for my 3-year plan so I can focus on the skills required. Like I'm not focused on the timeline. I'm not focused on like, okay, I need to get this number. I'm like, okay, how do I get that number? What skills do I need to do? What do I need to do? And what skills do I need to learn? And that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm working on. Because even she clocked me because I kept telling her about this 3-year goal. And she's like, why do you keep asking about that? And I'm telling her, because I want to know the skills. I want to know what I need to do. Okay. So that's the thing. Time versus skills. Second thing is being okay with being wrong. So the cash money talkers that I'm leaving back, I'm not coming back. Y'all also don't like to be wrong. I'm calling y'all out. A lot of the high achiever girlies, the teacher girlies, don't like to be wrong. They don't like to be wrong. And I want to challenge you, what if being okay with being wrong is how you get better? Being okay with being wrong. You don't have to be happy, but how about you're okay with it? How about it's all right? How about it's all right to be okay with being wrong? Okay. Me being wrong has helped me make a lot of money. It has helped me make a lot of money. If I was so set on being right about everything, I would not be talking to y'all today. I would not be talking to y'all. Okay, I tell you all the time, the same business coach. I wanted to be a confidence coach. I didn't want to do no career. I was like, I don't want to be no career coach. And I was like, no, I want to do confidence. That's what I want to do. sticking to it, but I listened to her. Okay, I was wrong. Okay, maybe I don't. But and I still anyway. In this process, being okay with being wrong is anything. So, like number one, a lot of teachers just don't know the entire process of what it's like to get a new career outside of teaching. They think it's like teaching, and it's not. So that number one, it is wrong. Okay, normalize me telling you that you're wrong, not in a way of you being inadequate, but you are wrong. There's a lot more things. Someone had commented on one of my posts like, "Oh, you make it look easy." I'm like, "What if it's easier than we think? What if it is a little bit easy?" I challenge y'all are doing more work in the classroom. When I went back to my old school for the event, my body started remembering the trauma. I was like, "This is what I used to do for $40? For $40? I was doing this work for $40." And it wasn't actually $40, but it felt like it. I felt like a teacher salary feels like $40. And my whole thing is like, what if it's okay with being wrong with anything? Like, what if, you even wanting to go into education and be in education for a long time, and then now you don't want to do it anymore. So technically you're wrong now. That's not correct anymore. It's not correct. What if it's not correct? I wanted to be a principal. Okay. And I have all my degrees in education. I was ready to go become a principal. And I said, hey, what if I was wrong about that? What if I don't? What if I still want to teach in a different way? What if I want to, because I've always wanted to make an impact, but what if I'm making an impact in a different way? Like, what if it's okay to be wrong? I tell all my clients, my high achievers, my perfectionists, if the more you get it wrong, the faster you get it right. The faster you get it right, right? Um, Another thing, one of my best friends, we say this, and it's similar to this story. So I'm gonna try to connect it for y'all to see. But we have this philosophy called 84 times. If you want to leave a man, if you want to leave a job, if you want to leave a woman, if you want to leave anybody you want to leave, give yourself 84 times. Give yourself 84 times. Like if you really want to give it a shot, give it 84 times. I was in teaching for 8 years, so teaching admin and stuff for 8 years. And so, yeah, I gave it my all. I can truly say that I've done everything. So if you feel like you still have a lot to serve in education and you really want to stay for a long time, do that. Just don't be complaining. Don't be complaining. Love your reasons. Love your reasons. That's what I'll say. Love your reasons. Okay. Because I always talk about teachers. I'm gonna do a whole episode on this. Teachers, it is in your DNA to talk with other teachers about how y'all don't like y'all job. How y'all don't like y'all job. I know that when I went to, I'm gonna stop talking about it. It's gonna be my next episode. But like my old coworkers, they love seeing me because they know I'm not about to talk about work. Well, they still talk about it, but like in a different, funny way. Um, like we're playing Disney days, really all these things. But anyway, be okay with being wrong. And if you really want to go, so if you want to be right so bad, go try that right. Because I've had clients who have tried to do their own job, like get their own job, like apply to jobs, interview and not get jobs, and then they work with me and they get a job fast. Just because I've been done this 100 times, so I know I've seen so many people do it wrong, including myself, where I can get it right faster. It doesn't take me long. Like it does not take me long. Um, like I'm actually going to be launching soon. Stay tuned, y'all. A June job offer challenge. And I am confident in saying, yeah, I can show you how to do it. I'm gonna tell you all the exact skills and I'm gonna give you everything you need. But I do believe that everybody listen to this podcast. If you want a job by June, you can. If you want to, at least whatever it is in June, you're either starting to find a job, getting a job, starting your search before the end of school year, whatever, before August. So this actually is timely. So if you are looking to transition for a new school year, make sure y'all are on my calendar. Make sure you're on my calendar, booking a call. I have a mentorship where I have a certification program to help you go into six-figure EdTech careers. I also have a course. So if you are wanting to get into corporate and you don't necessarily won't know for sure you want to go into EdTech, you want to explore all your options, make sure you check the link in my show notes for the exit plan course. I do a free resume review in there. And then if you ever join the course and then you want to upgrade to the mentorship, I do have specials available for that as well. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so be okay with being wrong. Be okay with not knowing all the things you need to know. And then the next thing is being okay with being a beginner. So after you're okay with being wrong, give yourself the ability to become a beginner. I think this is another big thing that the high achievers, and this is, I'm going to talk a little bit about this. So like a lot of the admin, and this is, let me slow down. I get excited. When I was a school administrator, I'll admit it is cool to be an admin. You get your walkie-talkie, everybody knows your name. It's a big deal to become an administrator. If you're admin, assistant principal, AP, etc. So whenever you reach that status, you typically, most of them don't necessarily want to ever kind of go down. They want to stay an admin and move up. and they don't want to become a beginner. Like, I see so many people like, oh, if I want to get a job, I want to get like a leadership position. I want to get like a director, they want to get my job straight out of the classroom or straight out become an admin. Like, but they're very green in the most loving way possible to the corporate space. A lot of us have a lot of entitlement of, oh, I have all my degrees. I see this all the time. I have all of my degrees, so I should be able to get a job. It's like, bam, ma'am. Yes, but yes, and you need to learn your new career. You need to learn your new career. Okay. You can only network so much. A lot of people are networking. Let me tell y'all, let me stay focused. But with being a beginner, because I think a lot of us, with avoiding the beginner stage, like if you avoid being a beginner, you are avoiding money. Let me say that again. If you are avoiding being a beginner at something new, you are avoiding money. You don't like money. You don't like, I'm not saying you don't like money, but you're avoiding it. You're avoiding it. And I need you to be okay with being a beginner in all this process. Like, allow yourself to be like, okay, I want to leave. What does it actually mean? Okay, I want to get a job. What jobs are available? Like, become a beginner. Okay. Um, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but like of getting off your high horse. It just means like the high horse keeps you in the classroom. Like, I have people who love their job being admin. Like, we were talking about that at my job, my old job. There's some people who are admin through and through. That's their life. That's their personality. They love to be an admin. And it was funny. They were talking to me. They're like, I loved you. Like, you just weren't stressed. Cause I wasn't. I'm not mad. I was mad about how much money y'all was paying me for all the work. But as far as the day to day, like, I was a disciplined dean. I'm not about to get 30-degree hot about a student. I'm not doing it. I'm not being mad. And they were just talking about how you were able to do that. Like, oh my gosh, I love it. I love you. One of my prior assistant, not my assistant, she was my support, when I was a discipline dean, like the discipline secretary. And she was telling me I was a character. She was talking about how, I guess a kid had came in office one day and I was like tapping my nails. I was doing this. I was like doing this. I don't know if y'all can hear, but I'd be tapping my nails. And a kid came in. He's like, why are you doing that? And I was like, because I can. Because I can. I don't even remember saying that, but she's like, I remember that. She's like, I never will forget that. And that's just the type of person that I am. Like, even with me having, like, I feel like I have like a serious job even now. Um, I do have a serious job. Like, I have a business. I have employees. I'm hiring again. I'm so excited. And people just don't even know that I still be lollygagging. I still be having fun. Like, everything is not that serious. And yeah, I forgot where I was going with that story, but the whole point of that is like, being an admin or even being a teacher, if you have a leadership position, even if you're not an admin, if you have some type of like leadership position, they're giving you a title, ask yourself, like, how much money are you actually making for this work? For this work. Okay. So be okay with being a beginner. You don't necessarily have to take a pay cut, but like, you gotta be a beginner. Like, but even being a beginner, like, my clients are getting 100K job offers their first job out. So like, you can get that. Okay. Asking for help when you feel like you don't. Oh, this is it. Asking for help even when you feel like you don't need it. Okay? Asking for help even when you feel like you don't need it. Let me say that one more time. Asking for help even when you feel like you don't need it. Okay? Even when you feel like you don't need it. If you feel like you don't need it, that's even more time to ask for help. Talk me through your thought process. Okay? Get some assistance in that area. Okay. The high achievers love to just figure it out because for a long time, you have been figuring things out by yourself. But in order for you to do something new, you have to be willing to do things, everything I said. Being okay with being wrong, be okay with being a beginner, asking for help, even when you feel like you don't need it, because that keeps us stuck. I have people like, oh, I don't need help with my interviews. I don't need help with this. I don't need help with that. And then I look at it, I'm like, baby, we need some help in a good, loving way. You know, submit to me your best video. Like, I think the high achievers, especially with the ones who have been able to get into a leadership position on their own, quote unquote, feel like, okay, I don't need help to get on their job. But like, what if corporate is a completely different ballgame? What if it's a completely different ballgame and you don't even have, like, your unfair advantage is that you just don't know what you're doing in the most loving way possible to learn it. So If you're wanting a new job for the school year, you need to actually break down what does it mean for me to go into a new career. And notice how I put transition into a new career and not a job. If you want a job, go work at Target, the most level way possible. But if you want a new career, if you want to transition by next school year, you need to double down on all these things. Again, time versus skills, being okay with being wrong, being okay with being a beginner, asking for help when even when you feel like you don't need it, taking criticism, taking criticism. And I know this hits hard for people. That's why I stay in a container that's going to help me get better. Like when I was in Tulum, so like it was a work trip, but it was also a retreat. It was a retreat style work trip. And I got some coaching. I wasn't like when you hang around other coaches in your area, business owners, etc. It was all business owners. They gonna coach you. I was coaching people and I was getting coached. And I was just like, oh, not you eating me up. Not you eating me up. Dang, not you eating me up. And it stings. It does sting. I think for me, because of my job, um, me working with my clients, I am the one giving all the feedback. I'm just like dishing it out. That, I'm more so like on that side of counseling them through the coaching. I'm not giving mean things. I'm just giving them direct and help making sure they receive it so they can get the best support. But from me being on the other side of getting receive feedback, I understand how it feels. I understand how it feels. Like I was getting audited for my not audited, but I had asked one of the girls, love her, shout out to Shema love. She is a content creator, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, girl, like I be doing content, like I want to do this," and she looked at my stuff, and I was getting feedback, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this." Okay, I love it, I love it. Um, but yeah, be okay with taking criticism. Like it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to get some feedback and to apply the feedback and keep getting more. Okay, I tell my clients, think of me as your advisor. Okay, think of me as your advisor. I will help you go through all these things. Run everything by me. Okay, run everything by me. And then when you don't need help on that one thing, we move to the next thing. But run everything by me. But get the criticism, get the feedback, and then you're going to get better. Okay. All right. So I would say to sum this all up, in order for you to get a job by your timeline, you need to prioritize skill goals versus your timeline goals. The more you focus on your skill goals, the more you'll get your goal faster on your timeline. And again, in order for you to leave the classroom into the next school year, you have to have a job offer. You actually have to have one. You got to have a job offer. And you need to have the skills of landing a job offer. It is not the same skill as getting a teaching position. All you got to do in teaching, I say this all the time, is stick your leg out and get a job, and then you got a job. But you actually have to dance. You have to dance for these dollars. And dancing meaning you have to learn the skills required. That's it. But just to sum it up, to get a job offer, I'm giving you all the formula. To get a job offer, you need three main things. The career knowledge itself, you need to learn the new career. That's why I have a certification and portfolio in my program to give you the skill knowledge. Then marketing your experience. So being able to market your experience on a resume and in your interview. And this is meaning once you learn the job well enough, you can basically market how you already do it. Okay. And the last thing is selling your skills, like selling your skills like ice in Antarctica. Like, why are you the no brainer candidate for everyone? You need to have those three things in order to land a job offer. So if you want a job offer by whatever date, insert skills needed to get that job. That's it. That's it. But the main thing is I want y'all to know that a lot of y'all are saying the same things of like the same thing. That's why I wanted to make this episode for y'all to listen to it to kind of answer because I get this question so many times. I just want to have a candid conversation of what this means. So long story short, you can get your job by the timeline. You can, but you do need to double down on the skills. And I want you to double down also on your belief in yourself, belief in your ability to get to learn the skills. To become, I'm not telling you like to be a beginner, to ask for help, to take criticism. You're gonna feel some feelings. Okay, fuck my feelings will. You're gonna feel some feelings. Okay, you might feel shocked. You might feel like I'll think about the feelings I got. Let me look at it this weekend. So I got feedback on a couple things. Not just my content, but my business, everything. Um, I feel like I felt, let's see. I felt judged. I can admit I felt judged. Not judged like in a bad, but I felt judged. Like, oh, you're like looking at me. Okay. Um, I felt indifferent was the feeling. Like, okay. I think that was the main thing, indifferent. I didn't feel ashamed. I think I just felt judged. Judgment. Judge. That's it. Judged and indifferent. but also curious. I was curious, if anything. So, like, whenever I get feedback, I ask, can you give me some more insight as to why you think that, right? I wanna know what angle they're looking at. So, like, whenever I get criticism, for number one, I don't ask people for free for feedback. I only ask feedback. So all these things only apply to people who have what you want. So anything I'm saying, I want you to find somebody who has the job or has the money, the desired result that you want, the way that you want it. That's the people who I get advice from. I don't um I don't just talk to anybody about these things. So everybody who gave me feedback was in different areas. They even they even looked at my dating profile. I was like, my dating profile. I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I felt indifferent. I felt judged, but I was like, you know what? They're not like they're I also reminded myself, okay, I can feel these in my body, can feel them, but I'm curious and I know this will make me feel better. And let me think about it. Let me think I didn't have that perspective before. Because when you're doing things all on your own all the time, to not have another pair of eyes on what your thought process, your skill goals, your entire thing, like it can feel lonely. Okay. I'm imagining the feeling that you feel if you don't get your job by your timeline, you feel lonely. So say all that to say you can get your job no matter how long it takes. It took me a year. It took me a year to land a job. It does not have to take you a year. Okay. Sometimes people get it faster, but I'm telling you, the people who get their jobs faster double down on all these. Okay. I have now, like, I am so proud of my clients. I am so proud. Okay. There's job offers every month. Okay. And then for me, I had to get good at the skill of being able to help. Cause even it's one thing for me to know how to land a job offer. It's another thing for me to teach other people how to do it. And I didn't have it, that fast. Like when I first started working with clients, some people were faster and some people were slower. But it was like me trying to figure out like, okay, what is holding people back? The only way I got better was I kept coaching people. I didn't say, oh my gosh, this person didn't get a job. Let me stop. No, I'm like, hey, why didn't they get a job? Like why? Okay. And usually it's giving up. Um, or being overwhelmed. Um, yeah. Another tidbit I saw, because on all this, I do recommend getting support, a coach. But I always say, like, if money is a thing, someone said, if you're not paying money for your problem, it's not a painful problem. It's not that big of a problem then. It's not that big of a problem. Like, if that problem is painful, you will pay for it. So if you really want to get out of the classroom, and I know y'all have you're burnt out. Because a part of this also, and I should have started this before, but you also need to heal your burnout. I know nobody wants to hear that, but you got to heal that burnout. You got to address that burnout, girl. If not, it will leak into your process. And then I've noticed that with my clients who were burnt out, they weren't getting jobs. The ones who did not prioritize themselves, they are not getting. There's only have one client who was still burnt, but she was working through it. Like she was working through it. Okay. She was working through it, but she also had skills that other people have to work on. Like she's a natural personality. When she did my portfolio, she did that quick. She got it. She immersed herself in it. She had done sales before. So she knew the core of it. And she was amidst her burnout, but she was still showing up. She was doing it. She was committed. She was in the process. So she was able to do it, but she was addressing it. We were still therapists, like finding a therapist, getting coaching. So even if my clients don't have therapists, I will coach you in your mindset to get you in a better place. But if she was 10-degree hot, mad, 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 she wouldn't have got that job. So you do it to heal your burnout. I would get some support. And if you don't want to pay for support, I know people say, oh, I can't afford it. The goal is to be able to afford things. The goal is to be able to afford things. So you need to be able to invest in the support to get you what you want. Whatever that looks like, taking a course. Again, I have offerings, but if you want to go anywhere else, like whatever, I just want y'all to get a job. I want all the teachers making money. Okay. Okay. All right. I think that is this episode. I hope that this was helpful. You can transition into a new career, whether it be by August, this school year, in the middle of the school year. However, I want y'all to just know that I am proof that you can leave in the middle of the year and not burn bridges. My next episode will be all about burning bridges, so you can listen to that to really give you the confidence needed to leave at the end of the year or any time throughout the year. All right, I will see y'all on next week's episode. Bye.